everyone, and welcome back to a series which I'm going to put together for you to help you in what has become once again some quite difficult times for us all. So I'm hoping I can help you a little bit with some of the food boxes you've got, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. All I can say is I hope you're all well, and you know, one thing I've learnt in life is when things aren't going well, if you wait long enough they change, because we're in constant flux and change at the moment. So I know a lot of you are going to start receiving these food boxes, and let's have a look at what we got in this week's one. Okay, so I know you've all had these food boxes delivered, and with it I've actually given you a brochure. I'm calling it lightheartedly the Ministry of Food, because you know I think my dad was wonderful. He lived through the Blitz in Coventry, and he lived on rations, and one thing I know about my dad, he would never waste any food. So I'm calling it the Ministry of Food. I'm going to help you put together some recipes from your box. So let's have a look at what you got this week. So we've got some long life milk. Good thing about that is you don't have to put it in the fridge. You do when you've opened it though. You've got a tin of beans, 4 eggs, a tin of tuna. Great stuff, very versatile. A packet of pasta, tin of sweet corn, 2 packets of Sunny Fruit Juicy Jumbo Raisin Mix. They're some little snacky things. The Great British Sprout, they're very versatile. So 2 of those, 2 large potatoes, 2 carrots. Oh yes, it's very useful to have in your cupboard all the time. Chopped tomatoes, 1 onion, and some cheese. And that's about, I remember my dad showing me, that's about what he had for a family in a week. You've got some pudding, rice pudding, which is nice. That's just a little snack for you. And an apple and an orange. So that's what we got this week. So let's talk about what we could possibly do with those. So what I've done for you in your box, you should all have one of these, which is the Oak Grove College Ministry of Food. Okay, recipes to cook using your food box. So I thought we'd go back a bit, you know, Brit spirit. We got 1940, 1935, not 39 land guide there. We've got a Spitfire. And then I've also included a written recipe and also a pictorial recipe. So if you want to cook with your youngster, okay, I tend to use these for students who do have problems with some of their reading, so they can follow things through. So there's that one there, and there's also the written one there with a picture of what the end product should look like. So I'm going to take you through this now. So the first thing, if you look, why don't we follow the pictorial one? So look at that. We're doing a tuna and pasta in tomato and sweet corn sauce. So basically it's a pasta bake, sweet corn tomato sauce and pasta in it. Quite nutritious. You've got your protein in the fish, you've got your nutrients and your vegetables in the tomatoes, sweet corn, and you've got pasta for your carbohydrates. So first job to do is to turn the oven on. Gas mark 480. I've done that over there, so that's the first thing you need to do, get your oven warmed up. Next job, you're going to have to dice an onion. I've shown you how to dice an onion. If you go onto my other videos, I show you the proper way to dice an onion. You're only going to use half an onion though, because another half is going to be used for a different recipe. So I've tried to work out how to stop any wastage in these recipes for you. So I'm going to dice half an onion now.
A few moments later.
So I've chopped the onion up. I've got it quite small. Remember, if you don't want to go and watch my dicing onions little video, mini video, you can just get your knife, and you can do that if you've seen them do it on TV, but get your onion quite small, that's important. And what we're going to do now, it says we're going to cook the onion in a little bit of oil. So I'm using a wok, a little bit of oil. I'm going to put that onion in there and cook it for about 5 or 6 minutes, and I'll show you when it's done.
5 minutes later.
Look at that pasta now. You should have got one of these in your bag. A lot of pasta. Okay, don't forget it's dry, so when it cooks it expands. I've said use about 1/3 of a bag. Okay, that will probably do 2 people. So I've got my water boiling. Remember, one of my key things I taught you before, always have water boiling before you put pasta in. So that's been on some time now. I'm going to put a third of the pasta in there. Okay, look at the onions there. They've just started to colour a little bit on them. They've gone soft. If we keep cooking them, they're going to burn. So this is the time, if you look at your recipe, add half a can of your tomatoes. There's liquid in there, it's going to stop your onions burning. Let's do that now. In it goes, about half, don't worry too much, let's have a look. Yeah, that's about right. Now don't forget, you're using this later in the week. You need to put it in a plastic container really, in the fridge, okay? I'll give you some recipes for the other halves and things later. Let's put that to the side.
Five minutes later.
Okay, so having a look in here, you can see it's beginning to dry a little bit. Now if I leave that, it's going to burn. So what you can do, pasta's cooking here, lovely boil on that. Just take a little bit of the pasta water, just drop a little bit in, keep that moist. Other things here, I haven't put this on your recipes, but basically because the stuff that you haven't got the stuff in the actual pack. But if you've got chilli at home, or you've got paprika, or you've got herbs, I would put some in here as well to improve the flavour. So I'm going to put, Rob, do you want to take this home? Right, okay, I'm going to do this for someone in school. I'm not going to put chilli in because it's not everyone's favourite, but I am going to put some smoked paprika in there. And I'm going to put some herbs. Remember, my students watching, you never do that, do you? You do that. What else should I put in there? Any of my students listening? Yeah? Seasoning, salt and a bit of pepper. So let's put some in. Yeah, remember, just a pinch there, some black pepper in there. And a little bit of salt. Oh, thank you. Look, magic, look at that. I would put some garlic in as well. If you've got garlic, put some garlic in. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So what do we need? Salt. I've missed the salt, haven't I? A little bit of salt in there. And also, I would put just, if you've got some olive oil, don't put any other oil in. I always put a nice little bit of olive oil in there. It makes a nice sort of sauce. So we're cooking that off. You see how that hasn't dried? It's coming down into a nice thick sauce now. I would love a bit of chilli in this. My producer Rob has given me some beautiful chillies today. Some of them I'll have to take home because I won't keep it in school. One of them is called I'll show you in a minute, he's bringing it over. So that's what he's given me. Fruity habanero, yeah, we can use some of that when we're cooking in school. Carolina Reaper, I reckon that might be a bit spicy, but the one I'm going to take home, because it's got a warning on it, ghost chilli. And I've never tried that, so I'm going to try that when I get back. So there we are, you can add a nice bit of chilli to it. Okay, that's coming now. Can you see how it's getting nice and thick now and a bit glossy? A lovely bit of olive oil has gone in there. So we're ready now to add the other ingredients. Let's put the sweet corn in now, half a can, remember, because we're using that later on. So if we're having a look, we've got a nice sauce there with the tomatoes. I put some garlic in there. We've got some paprika, chilli would be nice in there. And I've got the pasta there now, which is cooked. Needs draining off, so let me drain that off now. Add the tuna. In it goes. Make sure we don't want to waste any. Get it all out of there. Mix it up. Just break it up a little bit. Mix that in. In with the pasta. Look at that. Alright, that could do 4 of you. That's a good meal, look at that. So I've mixed it all in. It's looking nice now, it's all mixed through. If I was going to criticise my own work here, not because we have there's some things that I would put in there. I would have put a little bit of tomato puree in. I know it's not in the actual box, that's why I haven't put it in, but just to make a little bit tomatoey, you could actually use a bit of tomato ketchup. which would be okay because you've actually got a lot of tomatoes in which are acidic, so that would work quite well in there. So if you want to stick a little bit of ketchup, a couple of squirts of ketchup in the tomato sauce, or maybe a couple of good squirts of tomato puree, I think that would improve it. Anyway, I've done it with what we've got, so here we are. So into our baking dish. That's looking nice. Get every bit out. And my producer Rob just moved something over which I think would be very nice on the top. Any ideas? Cheese. Yeah, so you could use Parmesan. You've got in your box, you've got some cheddar, so I'm going to put just half the cheddar on the top of that. If I can open it, please. Cling film's a wonderful thing. There we go, got the end of it now. So you want to keep half for the other recipe I've given you. So just get half of it and just sprinkle that on the top there. Put the rest of your ingredients you've had back into your fridge, ready for the next thing. So I think that looks alright. That's going to go in the oven now. That's going to do alright, and do 4 people. Okay, so in it goes. I'll be back with you in about 15 minutes when it comes out of the oven. We'll have a look at it then. Stay safe.
20 minutes later.
That's the dish, just come out of the oven. I think it looks pretty nice. A few things I mentioned earlier, I would have put a bit more. If you've got some tomatoes, add some more tomatoes to the sauce at the start, but I think that's good. And I think you'll like that. Don't forget, if you don't like fish, don't put the tuna in. You could just have it as a vegetarian one with a lovely tomato sauce and maybe some Parmesan and some cheese on the top. If you wanted to put something else in there, you could put bits of bacon in there. You could do sausages, cooked sausages. I would cook the bacon first and chop it up and put it in the sauce, and I do the same with the sausages, but you could do that as well. Anyway, I hope that's going to help you. Have a go at it if you feel like it. I've got other recipes which I'm going to do hopefully today when we get a bit more time. So look after yourselves, and I hope to see you reasonably soon. Okay, and I'll try and do this every week for you so you've got some idea of what you can do with your box. I've worn pink today, pink hat. Try and be a bit more cheerful. Okay, so stay safe. Namaste, guy.